Hello dear friends, here I am Danya Divakar welcoming you all once again to my channel Shades of Literature. A big thanks to all out there for subscribing my channel and also for leaving your valuable comments. Hope you all are healthy and safe at home. So in my last lecture, I already gave you a detailed analysis of ecofeminism as a literary trope of ecocriticism. Today I'll be doing yet another trope. Nature. Man has always been in awe of nature. Who wouldn't like to hear the sound of cold breeze, the rains, the chirping of birds, etc. We all would love to be a part of the nature. We know that whenever man tried to get away from nature, he suffered. In short, we had to bear the brunt of the nature in the form of natural calamities whenever we tried to separate ourselves from the nature. And for that matter, nature has always protected and safeguarded us whenever we came closer to nature. That is also there. Yes, being a kid, I still remember we used to play around our house, our courtyard. We used to run around, we used to play in rain, we used to play in hot sun, but nothing happened to us except the fact that we enjoyed and we were happy. But nowadays, what is happening to our present generation or to our kids? Are we giving them the same happiness and enjoyment which we all got during our childhood? No, there is something called mobile. We are engaging our children. We just want to keep them shut at home. So the best possible way is to engage themselves by giving them a mobile or a laptop, so that they'll just sit with that playing games and many other stuffs which they can do with electronic devices. So that's the thing what we all do nowadays. But it's high time for us to change our ways. Let them play, let them enjoy nature, and let them be a part and parcel of nature. Only then can they grow into fruitful, intelligent and sensible citizens. Yes, nature has given everything to us in its purest manner. So here I am with today's topic, pastoral. Yet another trope of ecocriticism. We have learned great classic works of William Wordsworth, that is Tintern Abbey. No literature student can get away without learning Wordsworth's Tintern Abbey. We have also learned Shelley and Keats. So literature in its finest form, nature has been glorified in its finest form in these literary works. So the next trope which I am going to explain is pastoral. I will be giving a brief introduction to the very term pastoral, and then I will be giving followed by the three classifications of Terry Gifford and Garrard. So this will be the few subheadings which I will be covering in today's lecture. So pastoral. What do you mean by pastoral? Pastoral is something that which is related with country life, shepherds, grazing of cattle, etc. Yes, so basically the term pastoral is related with the lifestyle of shepherds. Also, the term pastoral states the duality of urban life and the rural life, which is deep rooted in the Western culture. And this trope, the trope pastoral, presents itself in the literary genres such as literature, art and music. There, in the rural setback, the pastoral life is idealized, and when it comes to the urban setback, there they are more attracted towards the rural setback. So this is the contradictory version of pastoral life. When it happens in the rural setback, the pastoral theme is idealized, and when it comes to the urban setback, there the urban audience gets attracted to the rural setback. Now, the pastoral life is described as a complex life of rural areas and rural people. Also, Paul Alpers describes pastoral as a mode rather than a genre. He also says that pastoral has been much more explained and glorified in literary works such as poetry, drama, and also in pastoral elegy as a mode rather than a genre. So this will be a brief introduction to what pastoral is. So now you would have understood what pastoral means. It is something that which is related to grazing of cattle, something which is related to shepherds, or basically it is the lifestyle of shepherds. Also, when you just think about ecocriticism as pastoral as a trope of ecocriticism, wherever nature is glorified and wherever nature plays a predominant role, this literary theory can be implemented. So this will be a small introduction to the term pastoral. Terry Gifford, one of the famous literary figure and literary theorist, has defined pastoral in 3 different ways in his book Pastoral. The first way is by explaining the historical literary perspective, which tries to recognize the lifestyle of the shepherds and at the same time discusses the hardships of them. So this is the first stream which discusses and recognizes the hardships as well as the lifestyle of shepherds. So this will be the first stream defined by Terry Gifford in his book Pastoral. Now coming to the second way of explanation, or the second way is by explaining the contradictory views of country life as well as that of the urban life. So Terry Gifford tries to explain the literatures in which the rural setback or the country life is falling as a content opposite to that of the urban life. He also explains it both implicitly as well as explicitly. Now coming to the third way of explaining. The third way of explaining the pastoral would be by giving the different classifications of pastoral life. So these are the 3 major classifications or divisions or definitions given by Terry Gifford in his book Pastoral regarding the trope pastoral. Now coming to Garrard, one of the famous literary figure, a literary theorist and also an eco-critical writer. He has divided the pastoral literature into 3 branches. The first branch is classic pastoral. In classic pastoral, Garrard identifies nature as a place where human beings can find peace of mind, where human beings can find some comfort, as well as nature as a place where human beings can identify themselves. So these are the two different levels where human beings can look themselves, or where human beings can place themselves in nature. He can identify themselves with the nature, at the same time he can find solace or comfort whenever he is in pain from the nature. So at these 2 levels, Garrard is explaining the first branch of pastoral, that is classic pastoral. Now coming to the second branch, that is romantic pastoral. Here Garrard tries to identify with the post-industrial revolution and at the same time the rural independence or the rural scenario of the rural areas. So he is trying to define the 2 contradictory views of the post-industrial revolution period as well as that of the rural independence, and he also says that this is much more desirable than that of the urbanized stream or the urbanized outlook. So this is the second branch of pastoral literature proposed by Garrard. Now coming to the third one, that is American pastoral. Here he draws a line and he says that farmland is a boundary between wilderness and the rural scenario. So farmland, in the sense you should understand, farmland is mainly used for cultivation. So farmland is considered as a boundary between wilderness and the rural setback. So farmland, the wilderness, in the sense you should understand, wilderness is something which is not explored by human beings. It is not that much explored by human beings. It's quite astonishing and quite natural in its all ethnic forms. So wilderness is not explored, or it's man hasn't reached into that level of nature. So wilderness is, there is a boundary, and that is farmland. So these are the 3 major branches defined by Garrard. So this is all about pastoral. That's all for today. I hope the session was explained well enough. In my next session, I will be explaining the role of nature or the element of pastoral in different literary narratives. So the same pastoral trope will be continued in my next session as well. I'm welcoming all your queries as well as your questions. Please do post in my comment box. So that will help me to grow up further in my future ventures. So kindly do post your comments as well as your queries in my comment box. Also, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Also share it amongst your relatives and your friends. And don't forget to ping on the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you. Bye bye. Stay safe.